I want to move on. I cover Democrats very critically. I cover the Democratic Party probably equally, if not more critically, than the Republican Party, because to me, is it breaking news to tell you the Republicans are corrupt? But in this case, we need to take on the Republicans. I don't want to hear Rick Santorum or any of these frauds pretend to care about those precious human lives in the women's womb. I'm not making a abortion or pro-choice argument. I'm pro-choice. I don't think government or anyone else should even have a say in any of this stuff. It's the woman, her doctor, her family, whatever. Why is it that it's so sacred? A life is so sacred in the womb. But when it comes to guns, it's the gun that is more sacred than the living person's life. Why is it that the gun or the Second Amendment and they've bastardized the Second Amendment? The Second Amendment doesn't give you a never-ending right or what do they say? An inalienable right to go down with an Uzi to a bar. That's not what the Second Amendment says. The Second Amendment is actually talking about a well-regulated militia, not citizenry. But why is it that they are so worried about the sanctity of unborn life? But for those that are living, theoretically, if Republicans got their way, that abortion was outlawed, you could have, technically, a baby born on a Tuesday. The mother, when they go home from the hospital, the mother, the father, they stop for food or whatever, or they stop at Walmart for some last-minute things, and they get shot up.
Yep.
Well, in that case, they were protecting that baby, and we outlawed abortion in a terrible world where abortion is outlawed. That baby made it out, but they lasted a day because
our hands are clean
because they were in the wrong Walmart, or the wrong movie theater, or the wrong grocery store, or whatever. So, the day before, we have to do everything possible to protect. That's the sirens coming for Rick Santorum.
Yeah, and Rick Santorum was talking about soft targets. Walmart in Texas is not a soft target, because it's a mall there. Those are regular people. If I'm not mistaken, Texas is an open carry state. I know for sure it's a concealed carry, but I think it's an open carry state. So there's not a such thing as a small target, as a soft target, maybe at a church. In Texas, probably not. Because I know when you go to Michigan, they have the little sign say no guns in the church. So maybe in the church, but probably in Texas, not. Probably not.
Concealed carry.
It's a concealed carry. So that means everyone can carry, period. Concealed carry just means you can't carry it in the open. You can conceal carry. Everyone can do that. When they have a gun, you can have a gun on you, period, point blank. It's legal. So there's really no soft targets unless, like I said, you're in a place where it says you can't have guns.
And this is what I was saying to you. I heard on the news, I don't know if it was a 4-month-old or a 4-year-old, but a very young kid died in the El Paso shooting.
But I think what you said is right. I feel like we had this conversation before, but like they care about life until you're out the womb.
Right. The point is, I don't want to hear a thing about the sanctity of life, and I don't care what your Bible tells you. You know what? You know who has just as much a right to life as an unborn baby? Those kids in Newtown had a right to life. The Declaration of Independence says the right to pursue happiness. You can't pursue happiness if you're getting your head blown out in a kindergarten classroom, or in a movie theater, or in a grocery store, or a mall, or a Walmart. It's not even hypocrisy. These people are sociopaths.
Yeah.
To have that type of hypocrisy and that type of cognitive dissonance, and absolutely evil. You're right. So we worry so much. We got to make sure you're out of the womb. And by the way, let's not pretend that the abortion rights movement makes a lot of money for a lot of people in this country. It's also a money-making machine. So are we to think that life is precious, an unborn life is precious, but the born, well, that's just the price of living in a free country with the Second Amendment? Which brings me to the gun issue. And we've talked about this too many times. The point is, the Republican Party, bottom line, and I tweeted this yesterday and I truly believe it, they're accomplices to all this carnage. They are accomplices to murder. Because for those of you with this, let me tell you something. There's mentally ill people in New Zealand. There's mentally ill people in a lot of countries. You can't kill in Ohio. The guy killed less than 24 hours ago 9 people in 60
In
seconds.
60 seconds.
You cannot do that with a knife. You cannot do that with a belt or nunchucks.
Whatever, a pipe, whatever
So-
they're trying to say that, oh, in another country that don't have guns, they use something else. You can't do that in 60 seconds.
So the point is, yes, there's mental health issues. Sometimes mental health issues is you're born with it, genetically, you have an imbalance in your head, whatever. But there's the root of it, and there's the mechanism where that mental health is carried out. The mechanism is not the brain. The mechanism is the gun. Both of these attacks in less than 24 hours were AK-47 style weapons.
Yeah.
Semi-automatic.
So just so you guys can understand what this is, because a lot of people trip out. But so a semi-automatic gun is just like a pistol. That just means you got to, every time you want to release a bullet, you have to fire. You have to hit. You have to pull the trigger. Automatic is you pull it and it just shoots out. But the difference between a AK-47 style rifle versus a handgun is the velocity, how fast it goes, and how easy the trigger is, a hair trigger. So you don't have to pull that hard for you just to go like this. And that's why you can kill. And that's why it's similar. It's not an automatic, but it does more damage because of how it's made, how light the trigger is for you to pull it, and how fast and far that it goes. So it's a completely different gun. It's a more powerful gun. But it's because a lot of people try to say, oh, semi-automatics, well, do you want us to get rid of handguns? And they try to twist you up because some people say automatic when they're supposed to be saying semi-automatic, and people try to use that to twist people up. But it's a very powerful gun.
And by the way, again with the Republican hypocrisy, so we got to give the military whatever money they want. Now we're going up to $738 billion in a military budget, which the Democrats are agreeing to, which is a whole nother story. It's totally immoral, totally ridiculous. We were at $715 billion. Now we're going up to $738 billion. Probably in 5 years, we'll be at $1 trillion for the military budget. So the Republicans say whatever the military needs, they get. The military, you can't say anything about the military. You're un-American. Military, we're fuck yeah, America. I have a boner for the military. But if the military, which almost unanimously military say, these weapons do not belong on the streets. These weapons do not belong in citizens' hands. These weapons are meant to kill, not defend yourself, not hunt. They're meant to kill. We'll have a Second Amendment. Seems to me, if the military is, the be-all, end-all, and it's our moral compass, well, shouldn't we listen to the military folks? And by the way, Ty could talk about it a lot better than I can. He knows. It's not just the size of the guns. It's the ammunition these guns are able to hold, the magazine capacity.
Yes.
I think in the El Paso example, he had extra magazines.
Yes.
So I don't want to hear from anyone. And if you think it's just mental health, then you need to get your health checked. You got to realize that these people who just push this mental health issue, they are willfully lying. They know it's not mental health that's causing this.
Yeah, because they don't say that when it's black or...
But it is part of the Republican racket. And, I don't wish this on Rick Santorum, but unfortunately, as in life, usually it takes a tragedy hitting you personally to change your mind.
That's what I said earlier.
I don't think Rick Santorum would be singing this tune. Or Ted Cruz.
Yep.
If, God forbid, it was their kid, you think they'd be saying Second Amendment? No. Because at the root, and this is how it goes, whether it be gun violence, gentrification, water contamination, police brutality, you name it. When they hear it happens to other people, that's too bad. What time is The Bachelor on tonight? But when it happens to them, ooh. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.